sailing ship Columbia. During the day, it is just a pirate ship that guests can ride. But when you are seeing it at night during Fantasmic, it actually transforms into Captain Hook's ship. Peter Pan and all his crew are on it, and that's what this ship is going to be. So we're going to go take a quick tour of it.
For a safe voyage, there may be no sitting on the outside rail or placing of young sailors about them. And the young ones must be watched at all times. The waters be cold and deep, and our crew cannot swim a stroke. So whosoever falls overboard will be staying overboard, and it will be duly noted in the ship's log, lost at sea. Since this is a fine wooden ship, you may not smoke or be starting any on-deck fires. The only fire permitted on board is in the galley, under the watchful eye of the cook.
Atención marineros, para que tengan un viaje seguro, no se sienten ni sienten a sus hijos en las barandillas exteriores. Asegúrense de vigilar a sus hijos y absténganse de fumar. Gracias.
Now look lively, mates, for we are sailing with the tide, and the tide waits for no one.
Ready? You can actually ring this bell, but it's very loud.
¿No vas a retirar el teléfono, hijo? Dámelo. Agárrale. Hola, René, ¿estás ahí? ¿No los quieres? No, pero no, si el patito.
Port watch, up with the spanker, unfurl the sprit sail. All hands, ease the weather braces. We sail a true course, south by southwest.
All right, we're here on the sailing ship Columbia. This is an excellent way to spend a few minutes of chilling and hanging out at Disneyland. One of the coolest parts, if you're a fan of Fantasmic, is that you get to go right by Tom Sawyer's Island, which is where a lot of the main things happen during Fantasmic. So we're going to go by and take a look at what we can see. This is where Mickey fights Maleficent. Now it's just going to be Maleficent the person and not Maleficent the dragon, but you can see a lot of cool things over on Tom Sawyer's Island. And sometimes you can see down in the water where they test like the fountains and things like that during the day. But it is a very cool ride across rivers of America if you want to check out and spot any Fantasmic elements that we'll be seeing later tonight.
Ahoy, shipmates! We're just clearing the busy port of New Orleans and beginning our journey into the great American wilderness. Our vessel for this voyage is the proud sailing ship Columbia, the first American ship to carry the stars and stripes around the world.
Also, if you're looking up on the top of Pirates of the Caribbean, if you see those open windows over there, that's actually the control booth that is controlling Fantasmic. So in those windows is where the technicians are controlling the entire show for Fantasmic. And there will also be later during the show here on this like wooden stone upper deck area that you see there. Later today there will also be some lighting towers and another control booth that's set up there during the show. And right here, this giant hole right there behind me, that's actually where a sailing ship is Columbia is docked during the day. right here up this path. And later today, when it gets parked here after it's done taking guests out, they'll probably stop at around 4 or 5 o'clock on Fantasmic days, and they'll park it right here, and they will rig it for all of the characters that are going to be on this ship as the Peter Pan characters during the Fantasmic show.
Our fair ship, the Columbia, was one of the first American vessels to explore the Pacific Northwest. It was in 1792 that this very ship braved a sandbar and discovered a mighty river, which we named the Columbia, after the first ship to sail our waters.
And over here in the middle, obviously, is Tom Sawyer Island. That is where you can see Mickey kind of on the main stage area during Fantasmic. But the rest of Tom Sawyer Island does close early on days when Fantasmic is happening because they have to do a lot of prep over here on Tom Sawyer Island for characters that are in the show. And right behind me here, you can see Fort Wilderness. And Fort Wilderness is actually where characters who are in Fantasmic do their costume changes during the show, because most of those characters play multiple parts during the run of the show. So they come here into the Fort Wilderness building in order to do their costume changes.
Just ahead is the most treacherous part of our journey. That island on the starboard side often hides the scourge of the sea. Bloodthirsty pirates. They sometimes lie in wait to attack a passing ship such as ours and steal its bounty. Bowman, and the starboard forecastle cannon and prepare to fire a warning shot, so as any curious pirates hiding near the shore will know we are well armed. Those of you round the cannon best be stepping back, way back. For the cannon she be a mite loud, and the gunner's aim be a mite poor. Be ready to fire one. Fire one!
Like the captain said, he's not the greatest shot, so he'll try it one more time.
Alrighty, fans, it does look like our cannon is having a little bit of technical difficulties, so we're going to have to scare off these pirates on our own. Alrighty, on the count of 3, everyone's going to yell as loud as we can. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Good job, guys.
Now, that should put some fear in them. Looks like we're safe for now. Far upriver, our ship often draws the attention of the local tribes. Look there. The chief has given us a sign of peace, which means we will be granted safe passage.
All right, so in just a second, we're going to pass some waterfalls that are on the left side of the boat. These waterfalls are actually where they put the small barges that are going to come out in Fantasmic later with characters and things on them. There's little mini boats, and those are actually stored behind the waterfall. During Fantasmic, they obviously turn off the waterfall to get the boats in and out, and that's also why they stop letting boats go on the circle of River of America later in the day, because they don't want people seeing that the waterfall's off and that that's where the boats are being hidden. So back under there, you can see it's actually pretty deep, and back hiding back there is where you can find boats that are stored for Fantasmic.
Just ahead, a tribe of Plains Indians has set up camp by the river. Well, crew, 'tis time we be setting sail for home. Hold taut the flying jib, brace for a starboard tack. Cook and helpers, stand by the pots. Shipmates, if you haven't done so, 'tis a good time to visit the crew's quarters below decks to see how sailors of the 1790s lived and worked while on the high seas. The lower decks will be closing when we enter port. Those of you remaining on deck, keep a close eye on the riverbanks, where you may be able to see moose, elk, and other wildlife.
Rob is calling you over.
Off the starboard are the last remains of an old shipwreck, rumored to carry a fortune in pirates' gold. It lies in Smuggler's Cove, a place of dark and dangerous deeds and secret midnight meetings. We'd best be sailing past this cove and back to civilization.
And also this dock that you see right here behind me, that is actually used to load characters from Fantasmic on and off the boats that they need to be on. They go and they change in Fort Wilderness and they come here and they get on the boats that they need to be on. And if you just saw a second ago, sometimes you can actually meet characters during the day on Tom Sawyer's Island. We just saw Red hanging out with a bunch of kids, so that was very cute.
All hands on deck. Stand by to go ashore. Yardman aloft, into the foot ropes. Furl the top gallants. Down with the flying jib. Make ready the bow anchor. Stand by all lines. Stand by the bow line, port side. Let go the bow anchor. Let go the kedge. Crew, it's been a pleasure serving with you aboard the sailing ship Columbia, the first ship to carry the stars and stripes round the world. You've been a fine crew, and we hope you'll be sailing with us again soon. All hands, prepare to go ashore!
All right, it's about time for the sailing ship Columbia to dock. I hope that this taught you a lot about Fantasmic and some of the backstage elements that happened during the show. We are huge fans of Fantasmic. We're actually going to be watching the show a little bit later tonight. If you're not already, make sure to like and subscribe here to our page at Adventure Isle for lots more theme park content and fun. I hope you found this video as fun to watch as I did to make it.